Hello there, fellow fire starters. How you doing today? My hope is that you are feeling amazing. You've gotten some rest. You're feeling good in yourself, about yourself, and seeing some changes in your surroundings and your circumstances as you are intentionally choosing to lean in and listen to what your wisdom is saying. So first, for the fire path, we've been talking about letting it burn. Sometimes you gotta let the flames do their thing, right? But I also want to remind you to let the old version of you go. Let the old ways that you thought you had to navigate finally be at peace. Think of it like an old book that you've read and your tastes have changed. It could be even a movie, right? And it was your favorite. You could read it or watch it 100 times a month. It was your jam. And now, as you have shifted, as you have grown and changed and stretched, and your fire within is saying, expand me, let me be free, let me be wild, that movie or that book is no longer as valid as it was before. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just outdated, right? Well, we often will do that to ourselves in real life with our being. We will hold ourselves in that old imagery. We will hold ourselves in that old way of thinking, as hard and as desperately as we may be trying to fight to move forward, to heal, to thrive, to do all the things. There may be some duality happening that's not so great. And we'll talk more about duality in, different videos coming up. But for today, I want to say it can be great or not so great. If you're holding space for that old you because you feel loyalty to all the versions of you that have come before you, you feel gratitude, that's beautiful. But you can still actually let them go in peace. And it's time for you to do that today. If you're choosing the fire path, your fire's likely begging you, probably trying to knock you upside the head and get your attention. So things are happening in your life and you're saying, why is this happening? I'm doing the work. Why is this old thing popping up? Well, there may be pieces of you still holding open doors for it. So I want you to take a look at yourself and see where you're holding outdated imagery, outdated thinking, outdated ways of handling yourself or being. Even have a ceremony if you want to. Hold a fire. Write down all the things that you're grateful that you've overcome, all the versions of you that made it possible for you to be here now as this version of you. Write down whatever you want and then burn it. If you can't do a fire safely, because safely is the optimal word, guys, then shred it. Rip it to shreds. Do whatever makes sense for you. And then release it. You can even bury it in the yard as a way of giving it back to spirit and saying goodbye. You could hold a small memorial, a funeral service for those versions of you because they need to be put to rest in order for this version of you to fully and truly be free, to move forward, and to live as loudly and powerfully as you are here to do. Stop letting that little wagon drag behind you with all that unnecessary weight, right? Fire is an invitation for transmutation, transitioning, transforming. Fire is an invitation for depth and power and loudness and boldness. Fire is an invitation for all the things that you've been craving and calling and praying for. And it's time for you to decide if you're going to open up and receive and say hell yes to the invitation and actually accept it and walk it out. All right, that's what I got for you today, fire. And so as we move into the rose path for today, I want to say this to you guys. If this path has been calling you because you've been needing some sacred downtime, some rest, some time of recalibration, not moving as fast, not pushing as hard, you just needed to slow down. Stop judging yourself for that. Rest is an act of rebellion. I said that, especially if you're a person of color. We have now started to embrace the fact that, yes, rest and self-care has to be an act of rebellion because you're taught to be one way. You're trained, you are molded to be a certain way, to behave, to be acceptable, to be palatable in society. Well, your body, your spirit, your inner wisdom may be telling you you can no longer hold that archetype. But you're tired, you're exhausted from all the peopling, all the masking, all the energy that it has taken to sustain fitting in, to sustain being palatable to other people, be accepted to other people, right? And so I'm asking you today to reconsider what rest can look like for you. Is it saying no more? Is it saying yes more? Is it holding firmer boundaries? Is it stopping your level of giving, even if just temporarily? Doesn't mean you can't be a giver, but for now, you may have to divert more of your resources back to you and reset later to help other people in the ways that you truly desire. Does it mean that you need to pivot and revision your business? Sometimes we have to change the structure that we're working within. Does it mean that you need to change jobs or careers? Maybe. I don't know. Only you know that. But I'm asking you to see your rest as an act of rebellion today, because you've been doing all the things, and yet here you are feeling like you're gasping for air, feeling like you're maybe even dying on the inside, or dying emotionally or spiritually, because your needs are not being met. Your cries are not being heard. So I remind you of this today, beautiful one. You have to answer the call first. You are worthy of saving yourself. And that doesn't mean that you don't need help or that you don't deserve help. But sometimes in order to change the pattern of how we engage with other people, we've got to first change the pattern of how we engage with ourselves. Can you let yourself slow down today? Can you let rest create a system for you that you can thrive on? Can you stop pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion? Resistance doesn't always mean pain. I'm going to say that again. Resistance doesn't always mean pain. And a lot of you, if you're similar to me, found yourself in situations through time where you were the renegade, you were the strong one, you were the one that everybody could lean on, you were the one that everybody knew was stable and consistent. You were the one that was good with money, good with time management. You were the one that would always show up when called and somebody was in need. You were their person. You were the crutch for everybody. You were the foundation for many. And it's time for you to get out of that, because you're so tight, you will probably break if people continue to pull and if you continue to let them. It's like one of those resistance bands you exercise with. Over time, the more you use it, the more you pull it. If you don't respect it, if you don't honor it and give it rest and release the tension, at some point it's going to break. And I don't want you to break, my love bug. I want you to slow down and take care of yourself. So I want you to reclaim your energy today. Take this opportunity to call back all of your power, all of your love, all of your energy, all the pieces and parts of you across time, space, and dimension. Call back everything that you have given that was unmet or unreciprocated. Call back every part of you that is needed to be revitalized. Transmute all of it in love and divinity and allow it to anchor back in place. Do a healing ceremony for yourself. You can soak in the tub. You can do some self-care and create a spa day at home for yourself. Sometimes rest for me is getting out here on the walking trail. You can hear my feet crunching. That sound is very soothing to me. But also hearing the birds call to each other, seeing the squirrels fly like acrobats between the trees. All of that is nurturing to me, and it creates rest. Figure out what your rest looks like. Is it spending time with somebody that you truly, dearly love and feel safe with? You don't have to talk. You don't have to tell them all the things if you don't want to, but just sometimes being in their presence makes a difference for you. What can you do to reclaim your energy intentionally and allow rest to be your balm, your soothing balm today? All right? And last but absolutely not least, let's talk about the diamond path today, y'all. To you guys, I want to say drop the mask. Today, your slogan is no more masks. I want to let you in on a secret. The more you tap into yourself, the more you tune into your wisdom and you recognize that you are absolutely motherfucking powerful without apology, you have to let go of the performance. That is when it fully shines in your true authenticity. I'm butchering words today, ain't it? But it's all good. That's when you get to shine in your full sovereignty and your full autonomy, and you get to know that it's good because it's you, unapologetically you. It feels uncomfortable sometimes because you have portrayed yourself as something different for so long. Sometimes the real you feels like a fake version as well. But what I'm asking you to do is lean into the deep today. Listen. Don't ask anybody else. Don't ask for confirmation. Don't do any swaps. Don't do any exchanges. Don't ask for anyone else's opinions or advice. Today, I want you to get quiet, lean in, and listen to yourself. Ask your inner wisdom. What does I need to know about me today? What is it that I can better understand that I have the capacity for in this moment? How is the version of me that is next, that is healed, that is most potent and powerful right now, ready to show up? What do they look like? What do they sound like? What does he or she smell like? How do they dress? These are literal questions I ask myself, guys. Listen, I will never tell you anything that I don't already do for myself and hadn't already experimented and played with 1,000 times. These are literal questions I ask myself when I'm feeling like it's time to expand. It's time to get to know the next version of me, the next layer of me, the next depth of me. So sit with that. See what comes up. Because it's time to let your energy introduce you, not your performance, boo things. It's time that when you walk in the room, people recognize you simply because they feel the difference. Your boundaries are sealed. They can't leech from you. They can't pull from you, but they feel your presence, baby. No denying. No ignoring. Not because you're acting like the class clown or begging for attention, but simply because you have sat so deep in within your sovereignty that it cannot be ignored. I want you to validate yourself today. You're exhausted with all the performing. You're exhausted with all the things that are required of you, that you're constantly feeling like you have to do. You are probably very similar to those in the rose path today. Feeling the exhaustion and the weight and the burden of all the expectations that everyone has for you. And some of that accountability is yours because you've played into that role. So don't victimize yourself. See where you have the power and the ability to right now address the situations. Where do you need to say no? Where do you need to be firmer? Where do you need to put your foot down, metaphorically and physically speaking, and say, I'm done with this? Where do you need to release people or things or stop going to certain places that have forced you to stay within the old confines because it made everybody else comfortable? And it might have even made you feel comfortable because it was safe and known, right? It was safe and known. So don't victimize yourself today, and don't let other people do it. See where you can pull your power back, see where you have choices, and make the choice for you today that allows you to strip off the mask and stand as your whole badass self. I love you guys. Thank you for being in this space with me. And if you're listening to this video, then check out the other replays as well, because I guarantee there's something in there that's going to speak to you. And make sure that you share. Help me to grow this channel so we can reach more people and continue to help make positive waves and changes, y'all. I am here to help make a difference. And I know that you are too if you're being drawn to these videos. I'll see you in the next one.